What if you embrace the philosophy of Stoicism in your criminal case? How can that help if you or someone you know are charged with a crime? Or how can the philosophy of Stoicism just apply in your everyday life? If you're interested in that type of subject, stay tuned because this is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years. And I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find these useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. So now let's talk about Stoicism. What is it? I mean, why would a defense attorney be talking about Stoicism? So let me tell you, I go around the country doing different types of trainings and learning things. And in one of the trainings that I attended, I got introduced to a book called The Obstacle is the Way. And that's by an author named Ryan Holiday. And so I recommend, if you're interested in this subject, it's a great starting place. But Stoicism comes from sort of the ancient Greek philosophy. Marcus Aurelius is famous for his Stoic ideas, as is a student of his named Seneca. And without getting too deep into the details, the way I like to look at it, and I'm no expert, is that Stoicism lets us and tells us to sort of focus on what we can control, what reality is. There's things that we can control and things that we cannot control, and it's really only useful to focus on the things that we can control. If we have an obstacle in our path, most of us will try to go around it and try to avoid the uncomfortable, the fact that we're not comfortable with doing something, that we're not sure how to do it. And if you embrace a Stoic philosophy, one way to think about it is, hey, that obstacle is the way. Even though it's uncomfortable, walk towards the obstacle, and you're more likely to be able to get through it, and you're capable of more than you think you are. So how might that apply to criminal law? How might you use it in your criminal situation, your criminal case, and how do I use it when I'm dealing with situations, when I'm helping defend my clients? Well, I think, again, it's useful to think about what we can control. What we can't control is what was written in the police report. It's very frustrating to get a police report and see all the things that are inaccurate in it. There's, someone says something bad about you. Someone says something that's not true. Your side of the story is not totally there. Maybe you didn't tell your side of the story. The officer didn't write down what you said. Perhaps you tried to protect someone and you didn't really say everything. And so it can be so upsetting. We can fret and really wish it were different. But if we take more of a Stoic philosophy, we could think about, hey, I can't control what's in the report, but what I can control is trying to go forward in this case and trying to get my story out to my attorney, to the court in a way that can be heard, not avoiding in the situation and trying to get around it, but actually walking towards it. And so I think how I apply that when I'm dealing with a situation is, sometimes I'm educating my own staff. I had a recent situation where one of the great attorneys in my office was so upset with how unreasonable the court had been, in her opinion, and not granting a continuance that seemed reasonable and that was going to be helpful, and most courts would have granted, but a substitute judge didn't want to do it, and so it created a difficult situation. And the Stoic way of dealing with that would just be to accept that there are difficulties in life. There are things that we can't change, and fretting about it and being aggravated by it, while it's human nature, isn't very helpful, right? It's not very helpful to be stuck with how unfair it was that happened. The Stoic philosophy would be to, what do we do next? To borrow from the book No Ego, what would great look like? What would great look like? What needs to be done next? Accepting that bad things are going to happen in life. Things are going to happen that we can't control. Right? The same thing can apply to other aspects of your criminal case as well. let's say you're charged with a crime, and the court isn't listening to what you have to say. The court issued a no contact order, and now you can't go home and you can't see your children. And that's a terrible thing. And while we don't want to just accept that that happened and not try to change it, what we want to avoid is being so spun up by it, so feeling like it's unfair and that it shouldn't have happened, that we get stuck, right? In my opinion, a Stoic way of looking at that would be to say, well, the reality is that whatever happened there was not good, but I am not going to try to just hide in the corner and avoid it and feel sorry for myself. I'm going to talk to my attorney about how can I move towards this obstacle, this no contact order. What can I do to, step into the discomfort of it and try to get that no contact order changed. And we have videos about, ways to try to improve our chances of dropping a no contact order, and we can link to it here. But the bottom line is, a lot of these philosophies are the same. They are similar in that we want to focus on what we can control. The judge already ruled. We can't control what that judge did, no matter how much we disagree, but we can control our actions going forward, right? We can act in a virtuous way. We can act in a way where we try to do the right things. Maybe we'll do some classes and things to educate ourselves. And to put the judge in a better position to trust us, that we're not going to be a problem if the orders drop. And if we can maintain that, hey, I'm just going to keep walking forward towards the problem and not, be losing energy and wasting, emotional energy towards how something went wrong, but try to focus on how we could make it better. I think that's a way that the ancient Greek philosophy of Stoicism can be helpful in criminal cases today. So it's a little bit simplistic, but I hadn't been exposed to that line of thought before, and it's been pretty helpful for me because a lot of bad things happen, right? A lot of bad things happen while you're fighting the government on behalf of your clients. There's unfair situations. There's prosecutors that don't share our point of view, or even worse, they don't even bother to look at the case and don't listen, right? There's clients that sometimes aren't, emotionally equipped to deal with the situation at the time. And instead of wishing things were different, dealing with what is and moving forward about how to make things better, that's pretty useful. It's been useful for myself, it's been useful for my team, and I think it could be useful for you. So again, go ahead, you can look on Amazon or whatever you'd like to. There's a lot of talk about Stoicism nowadays. It's not new, but I think some of it's new and being published again in the talks in the professional areas. Professional athletes use it, politicians use it, actors use it, and it might be good for you. So if you find this video useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. And more importantly, if you've got a criminal case and you need some help, you're not feeling right about it, you don't know what to do, feel free to give our office a call. Again, my name's Lance Fryrear. We've been doing this for more than 20 years. We'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.